Abiding by the rules and regulations under the Consumer Protection Act. So abiding the rules and regulations means by the organization. It has to uh, abide the rules and regulations of this particular Consumer Protection Act. If at all there are any issues with the consumer regarding their product means, then those consumers may go for this Consumer Protection Act. Okay, so whenever those consumers went for this act means the organizations are responsible, or else they have the obligation to abide the rules, okay, regarding that act. So that is the responsibility of organization towards the customers. Another thing is responsibility towards employees. So it involves CSR involves the responsibility of an enterprise towards the individuals who are appointed to render service to enterprise in exchange of fixed amount of wages and salaries. Okay. So here every organization has a responsibility towards their employees regarding their wages, regarding the from recruitment. Okay, so from recruitment, from wages, from providing good working conditions. Okay, or else giving training facilities under TND activities. Okay, likewise different aspects or else different facilities should be provided by the organizations to the employees. So this is the responsibility of organization towards employees. Okay, so here if we see means fair wages should be given to the employees of organizations. Okay, likewise if at all any employee in the organization performs good means, okay, we have to the organizations have to appreciate and recognize the employees by awarding them. Okay, likewise we have to organizations have to motivate and encourage the employees to perform efficiently. Okay, so motivating is nothing but we can motivate the employees, encourage the employees by giving awards. Okay, there may be awards may be either monetary form or non-monetary form. We all know that by monetary form is giving in the form of money. Okay, encouraging employees by giving some money, some gift in the form of money, appraising their performance, or else through promotions also we can appraise him, we can motivate him. Okay, likewise providing or else ensuring healthy, harmonious and productive working conditions in the enterprise. The person who is working in the organization, okay, we have to give him a good environment, a good working environment. Okay, likewise the product working environment or else working conditions means providing infrastructure facilities, or else providing working hours, good working hours. Okay, likewise providing growth opportunities to employees also. Okay, means giving promotions. Okay, growth opportunities, facilitating effective communication. Each and every update in the organization, each and everything should be communicated to the employees. Then employees feel very confidence towards the organization, trust towards the organization will have, they will have a feel, okay, towards the organization. They will own the organization by doing all these activities, and also providing necessary training to employees whenever they have required. Okay, so training, when organizations will give training to the employees means in present environment, if we go for example technology will be changing time to time. So the employees who are being working in the organizations, they need to know about the changes in the technologies. So definitely a training should be given to those employees each and every time whenever there are technological developments in the external environment. So providing necessary training is also uh, obligation towards organization, okay, and responsibility towards community and society. It involves uh, the responsibility of an enterprise or organization towards the society. So how uh, yeah, or else in which way organizations have responsibility towards the society means generating employment opportunities for the people, okay, avoiding manufacturing process that create environmental pollution. So this is the main aspect in the CSR policy. Why? Because the emissions that are getting from the factories or the companies, they generally affect the climate in the environment. So necessary steps should be taken by the organizations to minimize the pollution in the climate or else in the nature. So avoiding the manufacturing process or else minimizing the manufacturing process which create environmental pollution. So this is also a responsibility towards the community or society. Why? Because this pollution ultimately affects the people or else affects the society. And providing education, health and other basic amenities to the people is also a social responsibility. If we see, for example, health, if we go for health means, many companies came forward at the time of COVID, okay. So at the time of COVID, the whole population in our country seen a pandemic situation. So at that time, so many organizations came forward and helped in the perspective of the health, okay. So likewise, there should be a responsibility towards society or community by the organizations by providing education, health and other basic amenities, okay, to the people, and working for the growth and development of the society, okay. So these are all the responsibilities towards society by the organizations. And responsibility towards government. So what are the responsibilities towards government means, abiding the rules and regulations prepared by the government. Organizations has to follow the SEBI rules, FEMA rules, okay. Likewise, any act, the acts prepared by the organizations. So each and every act, each and every rule should be followed by the organizations, okay. Likewise, paying taxes also is very very important. They have to pay taxes on a regular basis. They should not show fake accounts, okay. They have to pay. It is their responsibility. Why? Because the economy can be increased, okay, and national income also can be increased by paying these taxes on a regular basis. Likewise, abstaining from submitting misleading and false information or documents. So many organizations, in order to evade tax, okay, they are submitting or else they are misleading the data, okay, or else they are giving false information, fake documents are being produced, okay. So therefore, they should not do, organizations should not do all these things. Genuine documents should be submitted, okay. So these are all the responsibilities of organization towards government. So if we see other stakeholders of the organization, like suppliers, distributors, banks, financial institutions means providing accurate and clear information, okay. Likewise, like financial aspects of the organization, financial status of the organization by showing balance sheets, P&L accounts, ratio analysis, okay. All this gives an accurate and clear information to the stakeholders of the organization, okay. Likewise, why? Because the suppliers, they are supplying, for example, any raw material to the organization means they should know about the financial status of the company. Why? Because sometimes organizations will take from suppliers in on credit basis also. So if at all the suppliers want to give credit on credit basis, they have to know the financial capacity of the organization. Likewise, distributors also, banks also, if at all the organization want to raise its income means So it has to go for banks. Okay, so if at all it gives proper, accurate and clear information, only banks may come forward, okay, and give the loans. Okay, likewise, providing accurate and clear information is very very important. It is a responsibility. Next, providing fair margins to distributors. Okay, we should not deceive the distributors. Fair margin, fair amount should be given to the distributors. Likewise, providing correct and clear specifications to suppliers regarding raw materials also, and ensuring timely payment. So timely payment should be made to the suppliers. Okay, likewise, working in association with different non-governmental organizations to develop the weaker section of the society. Okay, or else the vulnerable section of the society, by sponsoring them in the education, or else in health, likewise. Okay, so this is the responsibility. These are all the responsibilities of an organization towards the stakeholders, like suppliers, distributors, banks and financial institutions. And now, if we see some examples like Coca-Cola company and Ford company, okay, they have CSR policies. Okay, so CSR policies like this Coca-Cola company has a CSR policy, like environmentally friendly. Okay, this is a CSR policy that is followed by the Coca-Cola company. If we see the CSR policy of this company means, okay, we can see uh, very less pollution, recycling of water, recycling of plastic. Okay, why? Because they use bottles. So the soft drinks will be manufactured in bottles, so those bottles are again recycled. Okay, likewise, without water wastage cannot be seen. They give more importance to water, and they have the slogan also like a world without waste. Okay, means in water we will see that in this usage of recycling every bottle, we will see there also. Likewise, environmental packaging, recyclable packaging. Okay, replacing all the water used to make their drinks with water from the environment. So all these are treated as CSR policies of the Coca-Cola. If we see Ford company means, so Ford company has also big goals. Their CSR policy is everyone gets paid fairly and not making any carbon emissions. This is the basic CSR policy of the Ford company. So paying fairly to each and every employee of their organizations. Okay, so the businesses also put a lot of emphasis on wage equity, which is nothing but paying of fair wages. Okay, so to make things fair for all employees, they are putting in place a global salaried paid ratio. Okay, means wherever the Ford company is launched, or else it is in different places. Okay, so in each and every place the employees will get the same salary paid ratio. Okay, means uh, we cannot see, so a diversity, equity and inclusion can be seen. DEI, which is known as diversity, equity and inclusion, can be seen in this Ford company also, by having a CSR policy of everyone getting the fair pays, or else wage equity. Okay, and if we see what is the nature of CSR means, CSR is multifaceted approach. Okay, multi-dimensional approach. Why we can say it is multifaceted or else multi-dimensional approach means, so if we see CSR policies, CSR means we see it gives importance to economical, social, okay, and environmental aspect. So these three dimensions can be seen in CSR policy. So it is not on one foundation or else on one core principle. different approaches, different dimensions can be seen in CSR approach or else CSR policy, which is we can see economical, social, and environmental. So it will see environmental benefits, social benefits, and economical benefits. Okay, and if we see CSR is positive approach. So positive approach, we cannot see negative approach. Why? Because in each and every aspect positive can be seen. Why? Because if we see on organizations side, organizations benefit by applying CSR policies. Why? Because it increases the goodwill of the organization. It can grab the investors, and also it can increase the growth of the organization. Profits can be seen. Okay, so positive approach can be seen on the side of organization. Likewise, on the side of society, if we see means, okay, society also benefit if at all any organization is following CSR policies means. Okay, so the priority given by an organization is to education. Okay, for example, so on education side, the society will be benefited, the vulnerable section can be benefited. So if we go for environment, okay, so on environment also, environment is also benefited. Okay, so by minimizing their product process, okay, which affects the climate. Okay, so each and every aspect we can see positive approach. So the nature of CSR is a positive approach. Likewise, CSR is incorporates legal commitment with moral commitment. Okay, so legal commitment means, so we see different acts. Okay, like Consumer Protection Act, it is also Consumer Protection Act is uh, based on the ethics and moral values. If at all any issues are there with the product, the consumer can go for that consumer rights. Okay, he can go for that act. So a legality commitment is there for that. Okay, at the same time it has moral commitment also. So moral commitment is nothing but the ethical values that are to be followed. So if we see the CSR policy regarding education, regarding health, regarding providing equality, providing taking out of taking out of the disequalities between the sections of communities in the organization. So all these are the moral commitments of the organization with legal commitment. So CSR incorporates legal commitment with moral commitment. Okay, and CSR is affirmative concept. So affirmative concept means it is nothing but it is not an extra or else it is not an added concept to the organization. It is in the business, it is in the organization's policies. It is not a separate policy, it is not added concept. Why? Because whenever the organization is incorporated, from that time onwards they follow the ethics, they follow the moral values. Okay, so it is not a affirmative concept or else the added concept. Okay, so that is a CSR is affirmative concept. It is already involved in the business from the incorporation of the organization, right? If we see the evolution, if we see the stages in CSR means, basically there are 4 phases in CSR. On first phase, if we see first phase means, first phase of corporate social responsibility started from charity during 19th century. Okay, so this is the first phase. First phase started in 19th century. So the initial stage, CSR gave importance for charity. Okay, so purely charity basis, it doesn't expect anything from the society, but on the charity basis these organizations have emerged. Okay, this is in 19th century. This is first phase. If we see in second phase, CSR for growth of society. We will see here growth of society during freedom movement. Okay, so after freedom, after getting freedom in India, okay, uh, at that time there is a need for growth in the society. Okay, so this the organizations focused on growth of society. If we see in 19th century, it revolves around charity, but now in second phase it concentrates on growth of the society. Okay, so growth of the society means providing minimum basic needs for the society. Okay, like good and clean drinking water, or else the basic needs that are important for the society, like education, health care. Okay, likewise. And if we see in phase 3, CSR for complying with laws here. Okay, complying with laws and acts means the CSR policies, the CSR objectives, they should be aligned with the laws that are framed by the government. For example, if we see the SEBI rules or else FEMA acts, likewise, so they have to follow the objectives or else the policies framed by the organizations. They should be according to the laws and acts framed by the government. Okay, if we see phase 4, okay, so under phase 4, CSR for complying with international norms and standards during 1980. Sorry, this is not the sixth number, I think this is 4. Okay, so this is 4, phase 4. So under phase 4, for complying with international norms and standards during 1980s. So after all, concentrating on all these aspects, finally, so at this time organizations are seeing for greater marketability. Okay, wider range of marketability. So wider range of marketability means not in national wide, international wide. So while going for international marketing, international business, definitely there are certain rules and regulations, certain policies that are to be followed by the organizations if at all if they want to go for international business, international marketability. Okay, so what are those norms means? The basic first and foremost thing is CSR policies are being implemented or not will be seen in international norms and standards. Okay, so for in phase 4 we will see, in order to enter into international markets, okay, CSR policies were being executed by the organizations in order to comply with international norms and standards. So these are the 4 phases in CSR. If we see the act regarding CSR means, we can see CSR policies under Company Act. Okay, so under Company Act, here if we see section 35 or section 135 of Companies Act 2013, it provides mandate for the constitution. It is mandatory, compulsory of a CSR committee of board. Okay, its obligations and contribution that must be made by the specified entities, specific organizations towards its CSR policy. Okay, so now CSR means it is mandatory for any organizations. So for that also there is certain rules that should be followed by the certain specific entities only. Okay, CSR is mandatory for those type of organizations. Okay, so in India we are having CSR law which reflects the country's commitment to operate in a manner that is economically, socially and environmentally sustainable. Wherever we see CSR means, we will see these 3 aspects. One is economical, social and environmental. So the commitment should be there in the organization on these 3 aspects. Okay, so it also sees the section of Companies Act. Okay, it provides mandate for the constitution of CSR. So which uh, specific entities can be named under CSR means entities covered by CSR obligation means which companies can be under comes under this Company Act under CSR policies means the companies which is having net worth of 500 crores, okay, and the turnover of the company is 1000 crores and the net profit is 5 crores or above 5 crores means those companies should follow these CSR policies. Okay, so it is mandatory according to the constitution, according to Companies Act 2013 of section 135. Okay, the organizations whose net worth is 500 crores and above 500 crores, turnover is 1000 crores and above 1000 crores, and net profit is 5 crores and above 5 crores, they should follow these CSR policies. Okay, so what is the required amount of CSR activity means each and every organization should keep some amount aside for CSR activities. So for that, how much amount is needed, how much amount should kept aside by the organizations means 2% of average net profit of last 3 years, okay, should be kept aside for specifically CSR activities. Okay, next, CSR committee should be there. Okay, so what is CSR committee means? Under CSR committee we will see at least 3 directors. Okay, at least 3 directors will be there in the CSR committee means CSR committee should be there, it is mandatory, and that committee should have directors, at least minimum 3 directors should be there. Okay, and what does this responsibility of committee means, what does this committee do means? Okay, so it makes all provisions, okay, all the provisions uh, of the company's policies. Okay, uh, for example, CSR committee, it will recommend the amount of expenditure to be incurred on the CSR activities to be undertaken by the company, or else CSR committee will monitor the CSR policies, okay, of the company from time to time. Likewise, CSR committee will establish a transparent controlling mechanism for the implementation of CSR projects or programs or activities undertaken by the company. Okay, so these are some of the responsibilities of a CSR committee. Okay, CSR committee. And coming to CSR policy. So what does CSR policy means? So CSR policy, it ensures all the provisions and all the applications in the CSR activities. Okay, so like the activities mentioned in the policies must be undertaken by the company. So those are the policies, CSR policies, and CSR policy should be placed on the company's website, okay, by the board. Likewise, the company can join hands with other companies for undertaking projects or programs of CSR activities. Okay, so all these are the CSR policy. CSR policy shall monitor the projects or programs of that organization. So CSR policy means it elaborates the activities to be undertaken by the company as named in the schedule 8 schedule 7 of the act, okay, of this company's act 13 2013. So CSR policy means it undertakes the activities, it elaborates the CSR activities to be undertaken by the company, and board of directors implement those policies. Okay, board of directors, they ensures all those activities which are mentioned in the policies. Okay, So they look at all the how the CSR policy is going on, how the CSR committee is composition is there. So all those things can be seen by the CSR committee. Okay, so this is all about the legal aspects regarding the CSR. Okay, and Companies Act in Companies Act 2013. So, if we see significance of corporate social responsibility means, so what is the significance, or else what is the importance, or else what is the need of corporate social responsibility means, legal mandate. A legal mandate means, sorry, uh, social responsibility is a legal mandate, but what is the importance? So importance means, so if we see social development. Okay, so social development means CSR initiates in India. It plays an important role in addressing the social issues and contributing to the overall development of the country. Okay, so companies engage in projects related to healthcare, poverty alleviation, education, etc., making a positive impact on society. So, social development means basically we can see on all those aspects like education, healthcare, eradication of poverty, okay, all those aspects. So, if we see the second aspect, inclusive growth, okay, so inclusive growth means CSR activities in India focus on inclusive growth, aiming to bridge socio-economic gap. Okay, so that is why CSR concentrates on welfare of society also. Okay, at the same time, it decreases economical gaps and ensures that benefits of economic development reach marginalized and underprivileged communities. So it sponsors to the vulnerable section of the society. So this decreases the gap between the haves and have-nots. So this contributes to a more equitable and sustainable development model. And if we see third aspect, environmental sustainability. Environmental sustainability means companies engage in projects related to renewable energy. Okay, so renewable energy, environmental conservation, sustainable practices to mitigate their environmental impact, and also they contribute to a greener future. So it concentrates on environment, safeguarding environment. Okay, next, community engagement. So community engagement means uh, they actively engage with communities in which they operate. Okay, so this helps, or else it builds positive relationships, or else it increases the trust and confidence, and also it creates a sense of shared responsibility between businesses and local communities. So the relationship, or else the communication between the organizations and communities, it will impact positively on the organizations. It will build positive relationships, it will create a confidence, it will create a trust on the organizations by the communities. Okay, because it creates a sense of shared responsibility. Okay, likewise, if we go for brand image and reputation means, okay, consumers, investors, and other stakeholders all appreciate companies which demonstrate a commitment to social responsibility, which leads to enhanced trust and loyalty in all those stakeholders. Okay, brand image and reputation means it increases the confidence, it increases the reputation of the product, it increases the importance of the product, it increases the goodwill of the organization. Okay, and employee morale and productivity. we can see increase in the employee morale and productivity also. Why we can see employee morale means employees often take pride in working for socially responsible organizations. Okay, a company which is having goodwill means definitely people think to work in such type of organizations. They come forward to work in such type of organizations. Even they feel proud working there. Okay, so this can positively impact productivity also on production, employee retention. Okay, and overall workplace satisfaction also can be seen. Employee retention means employees will not leave the company. Okay, uh, they will work loyally for the organizations. We may see increase in the productivity also. So employee morale and productivity also can be seen. For this purpose also, it is very important to implement CSR. Okay, and risk mitigation. Okay, risk mitigation means proactive CSR initiatives helps companies to mitigate certain business risks. Okay, to settle down some business risks. Okay, by addressing social and environmental concerns, companies reduce likelihood of facing regulatory issues, a negative public perception, or legal challenges. Okay, definitely this type of risk can be minimized. Okay, if at all any organization is facing negative impression in public means, okay, or else it is facing any regulatory issues means, the goodwill or else the CSR proactive CSR policies, they will create positive impact on the organizations. Okay, likewise global standards and expectations. If we see, India integrates further into the global economy. Already it is maximally integrating with global economy. Okay, and adherence to international CSR standards, it becomes increasingly important as we are going for international marketing, international business. Definitely we have to comply with the international standards, international norms, international policies. Okay, so it is important to follow CSR policies. Many multinational companies operating in India, they follow global CSR practices, and also local companies also are aligning now their strategies to meet these expectations. Okay, so for this purpose, CSR, corporate social responsibility, okay, should be followed by each and every organizations. Right now, if we see about uh, goals of CSR. Okay, so what are the goals of CSR means? If we see, first one, no poverty. So eradication of poverty, the main goal of the CSR will be, the policies of CSR will be, first of all, from basic core concepts we have to go. Okay, so India is also facing poverty, so no poverty should be there. Eradication of poverty, and also poverty line should be above that, in such a way that zero hunger also should be seen there. Okay, so nobody should go hungry in this entire country, and there should be food for everyone. At the same time, good health and well-being also should be there. If you are physically fit, you will be mentally fit. So therefore, it is important to have a good health in yourself. For this, quality education is also should be there for everyone in our country. Okay, and you should be know having good quality education. And uh, nowadays companies are really going out of their way to educate people who cannot really afford to be educated. Okay, so they don't have the kind of means and the kind of money to really go out and educate themselves. Okay, so in such cases now companies are stepping forward to give quality education. And if we see about the gender equality, okay, Actually, companies are fighting for making sure that women get as much of equality as men in their in okay. So wherever they are we go, we see gender equality, something that they really want to focus. Okay, nowadays the companies are really focusing on gender equality. And also, if we see clean water and sanitation means our country and our corporates are also doing as much as they can do to make sure that there are proper hygiene conditions and sanitization. Okay, uh, all these things are going well in our country. Okay, so sanitizing is also something that we are looking at upgrading affordable, and also uh, a clean energy also we are seeing here through this clean water and sanitation. Okay, so if we see sustainable cities and communication means, okay, sustainable cities means here we are giving importance to the environmental aspects. Okay, so through this environmental taking good environmental aspects, sustainable cities can be seen. And smart cities in our country, if we see, means trying to make sure that countries or cities which are the level of going, or else upgrading themselves, are being helped out by the corporate sector only. Okay, so those are the sustainable cities. And also communication is also very very important there in these sustainable cities. Okay, and if we see responsible production and communication means, okay, so we have to make sure that there is greenery all around, and not much or wastage of paper, or we are trying to go green, and most of the corporates have taken this responsibility of going green. Okay, so this is a responsible production and also consumption. If we see uh, as we are responsible in production activities, in the same way in consumption pattern also, the goal of the CSR is very responsible. So responsibility on production and at the same time on consumption also is maintained in the CSR policies or CSR activities. So these are some of the goals of CSR. And if we see the dimensions of CSR means, okay, so what are the different dimensions of CSR means? One is economical, legal, ethical, and discretionary responsibility. Okay, so these are all the four dimensions. Okay, four dimensions of CSR. So if we see this pyramid, we have four dimensions. Okay, economical, legal, ethical, and discretionary. So economical means uh, everybody wants to be profitable, but at the same time doing their a bit for the society, and also at becoming profitable. Okay, so here economical responsibility means we think about profitability, because organizations are not the uh, service motive organizations, profit motive organizations only, but yet it thinks a bit on society, to for the welfare of the society. Okay, so here be profitable, think regarding basis profitability only. So economic responsibility is there. So this is one of the dimension in CSR. If we go for a legal responsibility, okay, so definitely under CSR policies we will see the implementation of legal responsibility, which is nothing but obeying the laws of the country. Okay, definitely we see different laws, different acts regarding the company. Okay, so all those laws will be abide by the organizations, okay, under CSR policy. So they obey the laws, so that is legal responsibility. And if we go for ethical responsibility, okay, be ethical, do what is right, avoid harm. This is the ethical responsibility of organization. So in producing in, or else in manufacturing the products, okay, or else or in giving the services. So in each and every aspect, okay, they should give more importance to ethics, values, morals, means what is good and what is bad. So depending upon the right things, doing only right things and avoiding the harm, minimizing the harm to the society, to the environment. Okay, so that is the ethical responsibility. If we go for discretionary responsibility, means contribute to the community and quality of life without any discrimination of race, discrimination of community, discrimination of religion, okay, discrimination of caste, creed, anything. Okay, equality is seen. Contribution of CSR policy will be seen equality. Okay, and at the same time giving quality of life. Okay, quality of life internally, first of all in their companies, and at the same time after succeeding internally, they'll go for externally. First of all, they look after their employees, they will give a quality of life to their employees, to their stakeholders, and afterwards they will extend to the external environment, to the society also. Okay, so discretionary responsibility means without any discrimination, without any differences. Okay, CSR policies will be contributed, means equality will be seen, quality of life will be seen. Okay, so this is about the 4 dimensions of CSR activities or CSR policies. Okay, so this is all about the nature and responsibilities, okay, significance of CSR. Okay.